Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Is this a great job or what? Welcome back to Iowa Live, everybody. I am Lou, and I'm hanging out with Jessica Shellhorn from the Blank Park Zoo, and my newest and bestest friend. This is Oscar. Here, Oscar, one little piece of lettuce. There you go. Oh, Jessica, you have to tell us about Oscar. He is so awesome.
Oscar is one of our favorites. So he's a North American porcupine. They're native to North America. You find these guys living in Minnesota, the Dakotas, Montana, and then up into Canada.
Okay.
Yep, they like to live in woodlands. So woodland habitats, they're good at climbing trees. He's pretty well adapted for that. He's got big claws on his front paws. He's got claws on his back paws to climb up the tree branches. And then my favorite thing about them when they're climbing those trees is when they come down.
Yeah.
They can't see the best. So what they do is they climb down backwards, and their tail they use to test the branches below them to make sure that the branch can hold their body weight, because they're pretty hefty guys.
Now, what kind of animal is a porcupine?
A porcupine is part of the rodent family.
It is, okay.
Yes, yeah. So characteristics of the rodent family, which include squirrels, mice, rats, porcupines, guinea pigs, is that they have these very large incisors. So those 4 teeth that we have in the front of our mouths, rodents have them too. Rodents, their incisors never stop growing. So they continue to grow their entire life. And to keep them worn down so they're not too long, they have to chew on a lot of stuff. So rodents are continuously eating, which is why if you have mice in your house, they're chewing on everything, because they're chewing on it to wear down their teeth.
All right, got it. I'm going to move around to the side here, so when Oscar wants some more goodies here, we'll be able to get him some more goodies. Here you go. I want people to be able to see you because you are so cool, dude. Now, obviously, people they know about the Quills.
Yep.
Tell us about the Quills and the misconception. First of all, because it happened here today, someone from the office came down to look, and they stood back because they didn't want to get shot by the Quills. And
yes.
And tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so porcupines are well known for being covered in quills. Oscar, you can kind of see them on his, especially his tail. You can't quite see them with all of his big fluffy fur, but his quills that are super sharp are deep inside his fur, and those are just specialized hairs on their body. Porcupines cannot shoot their quills. Instead, what happens is, particularly dogs are famous for it. They get too close, and their quills then come off on the animal who gets too close. So he's not going to shoot quills at us. What he might do is he might puff up his quills a little bit, so it makes him big, and so that way you can't get as close to him. You might get just, those quills are just a little bit longer, but
look at him here.
Yep, they're about 2 to 3 inches long. So yeah, you can see him all over his back. So those
Right here.
little white specks inside his fur are his quills.
Now you have one here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I have one right here. I'll give it to you, Lou, so the camera can see it.
I'm going to hold it right next to him.
Yep, so that's one of his quills, and the top of it is black, and that black piece, the whole quill probably feels like a piece of plastic.
Yeah, it feels fake.
Like maybe like a straw is probably what I can compare it to, but that top part is a little rougher, because
Right
if we had a magnifying glass, we could look at that top part and we would see all these tiny little barbs on it. It kind of feels like sandpaper up at the top.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what causes the quill to stick into the predators.
And then it just breaks off from the body here.
Yep, it just pulls right out. So
here.
yeah, and they don't really feel it. It's kind of just like when we brush our hair and the hair comes off our head when we brush our hair. It's just like that to the porcupines.
That is awesome. Oscar is awesome, obviously. Now, something else that is awesome is Brew. And tonight in the air-conditioned event center, we have a pretty fun band. Tell everybody who's there.
Yeah, we have Stark Raving Madge is at a Brew tonight. So Brew starts at 5:30. Band starts playing at 6:30. Band starts playing at 6. So you can come and listen to a lot of really great covers.
And Stark Raving Madge, folks, remember the name Steve Barry? Yes, that's Steve Barry. He's the lead singer of that band, so it's going to be a lot of fun in the air conditioning. And of course, it is Brew, brought to you by
Viridian Credit Union.
All right, so we're going to be there with bells on. Stop by the Local 5 booth. We'll give you some goodies, and we'll talk a little bit more about hanging out with this dude, Oscar the porcupine, on Iowa Live. Jessica, thank you so much.
Thanks, Lou.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Stay cool and keep your dogs out of the cars.